Good morning, everyone. My name is Julie. I am the owner and founder of Faltes Apothecary. You are here today. I am here today. So I guess we're here today to discuss the weekly forecast for astrology. This is what I like to call the Cliff Notes version. It doesn't go super detailed. It just kind of gives you an overview of what to expect for the week. Um, Before we get started, I'm gonna smudge a little bit here. If we have a piece of, I don't know what's going on there. See if I can find a piece. They're pretty much, it's falling apart. There we go. So just a little piece. That's all we need for today's purposes. So some for you guys. Some for me. Maybe it'll clear out my sinuses. It is definitely still allergy season here. So all kinds of stuff is flowering and budding, and so my eyes are watering and my nose is running. So all right. I'm just going to stick this over here to burn, and then we will go ahead and pick our new card for the week. So last week's card was a blessing for a fresh start. So we're going to put that back in the deck, and then go ahead and pick a new one for this week. Let's see what we have. I don't think we've ever had this one before. So, a blessing on your intuition. So, if anybody's been watching for a while, they know intuition's a big thing for me. I'm always saying follow your intuition. So, yeah, she's got the symbol up here on the rock. I don't know if you can see it, but I will post a picture of this and do a little write-up. I usually do that every week, and you will find that in my Facebook group, which is Lady Faltai's Light Healers. So if you want to see the card and the write-up, you can go on over to Lady Faltai's Light Healers Facebook group. That's where that will be posted. If you're not a member of the group, there's like 3 questions. They're pretty simple. Answer those and you'll be in. If you don't answer the questions, it sends it to me for approval, and I usually can get you in within a day or so. So put that over here so I don't forget to take a picture of that before I rush off to work. Yes, I have to work today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I know I'm a little bit early. That almost never happens, right? I don't know what happened because I'm always usually late. All right, so today is Monday, the 29th. The moon enters Libra. So Libra is going to be bringing us some social energy, kind of a playful energy. So an overall good energy for the day. Possible chances are possible. How do I say that? There's a possibility of debate today in some way or form. So if you kind of start to see that happening, if it's in a nice, playful way, debate, just let it play out. That's fine. But if you can see that maybe it's starting to get a little intense, this is why we do these forecasts, so that you have that knowledge of that this might happen today. And if it does, and I see that it's getting a little intense or somebody's getting their feathers ruffled a little bit, to just be the bigger person and kind of back off and just kind of be like, let it go, but that's possible. But for the most part, it should be a nice, sociable, playful day. Energies are, pretty good. If you have to work today, I know a lot of people have today off being Memorial Day. If you have to work today, find a little bit of balance of that work and that play. So like I said, I am one of the ones that have to work. So I will have to, when I get out of work, maybe do something fun. And today's a day to avoid other people's drama. You know what? I say that, but every day is a day to avoid other people's drama. Like if it's not ours, just stay out of it. And trust me, I have trouble with that sometimes. I hear people going off about something, and my first instinct is I'm going to go help them. I'm going to tell them to breathe or meditate or do this or do that. And sometimes people are just not in a place for that. And so I have to remind myself that it's not my issue. And I don't need to fix everybody. And not everybody wants fixing. Avoid other people's drama today. But as a general rule, just try to avoid other people's drama. Some of us have enough drama of our own. We don't need to involve other people's drama. And if you don't have any drama of your own, thank God for you, because, you know, it'd be nice to live drama free. I'm working on it. All right. So today's color is off-white. And for Libra Stone, I'm still not sure about these cards. I had a little bit of a hard time picking stones this morning because it's like they didn't quite match up the way I wanted them to, but I went with it. So again, you guys let me know if you like these cards or the other cards better. Or I have some other decks, who knows what we could do with them. Maybe we'll mix them all together and just make a big jumbled mess of cards. Anyway, Libra, I have brown striped jasper, and it helps you maintain control and not sacrifice yourself for peace. See, that didn't really seem to fit what I really wanted it for, but that maintaining control is kind of where I went with that, and that is maintaining the control of work and the balance of work and play and avoiding other people's drama. So some brown striped jasper. Again, you can't see it really well, but all right. Tuesday, the 30th, still Libra moon in harmony with Gemini. So we like those words, in harmony. So again, should be a pretty decent day. Nothing too much to worry about. Communication should be good. Gemini are our question askers, so they like to know everything about everything, but they just want people to tell them that. They, like me, I'm a Sagittarius. If I want to know something, I'm going to go research it. Gemini wants to know everything about everything, but they don't want to research it. They want somebody else to tell them. But that makes them really great for conversation, right? So they're interested, they're interactive with the conversation, they're inquisitive. So it makes them for really good conversation people. So Tuesday should have some good communication. Should be a nice, balanced, emotional day. Great time to socialize. It would be a good day to do any kind of negotiations that you might have coming up. If you're buying something or negotiating a contract of any kind, or just maybe negotiating something out with your husband. I did write avoid hasty decisions, though, because sometimes when we're in that really good place and we're super happy and things are going well and stuff, sometimes maybe we're just like, we might just be a little bit hasty. So nothing, like I said, nothing too serious, nothing too much to worry about, but just that little bit of like, we've got to keep everything in check, right? So if we're having a super great day, and we're just having an awesome day, maybe we decide to do something that, wind is blowing, maybe we decide to do something that maybe we shouldn't have really done. But Tuesday's color is pink, and I picked chalcedony, and it says helps you build equality and harmony within your important relationships. So I was basically working on that word harmony. So, because it's a nice harmonious day of communication and balanced emotions. And so, so again, chalcedony. There you go. Kind of can see it there. All right. Wednesday, the 31st, moon enters Scorpio. I love Scorpio season. I have 3 placements in Scorpio. So I am very drawn to the Scorpio. Anything that has to do with Scorpio is always like, oh, yay. Anyway, on Wednesday, the 31st, moon enters Scorpio. So emotions run deep. And when I say that, I don't mean necessarily like you're going to be emotional. Just if you're going to just really be feeling your emotions, okay? And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be sad or happy or anything like that. Just means you're really going to be in touch with feeling whatever that is going to be for you. You may be feeling drawn to the mysterious. People say the dark side, but I don't think of it as a dark side. The metaphysical, all of that, I don't think of that as a dark side. It's kind of got labeled that way. Like if you work in the metaphysical world, you work on the dark side. But really, we're all about light and energy, right? So I don't know how that happened, but that was just kind of something that happened somewhere along the line of history. But you might be drawn towards more of the mysterious things of life. So again, might be a good day to explore something metaphysical that you've been wanting to learn about. Astrology, tarot, divination, working with your pendulum, anything like that would be really good on Wednesday. And like I said, I just wrote, pay attention to your emotions, because you are going to be definitely feeling whatever it is you're feeling on Wednesday. And, just to do that is fine. But, if you want to kind of use the day in a productive way, learning something is productive. So again, if you want to do something bonus, how's that? Bonus action for the day. If you really tune into that emotions and pay attention to those emotions and kind of sit with them and see what's going on there. Maybe you're just super happy and that's amazing. That's great. Maybe you're just in a really great mood and you're having a fun day and everything is great. But if you're not and you're feeling something a little bit, more on the heavier side, sit with it and kind of figure out what's going on there for you. And, maybe you can work through some stuff and have it be an emotionally productive day. So Wednesday's color is light blue. And for Scorpio, I picked topaz. It says enhances your passion, persistence, and purpose. And so, again, I kind of struggled with some of the cards this week, but I pulled it out for the word passion because, and again, like I said, this is kind of like stones I would work with. And you might not necessarily want to work with the same stones, and that's fine. Follow your intuition and or ask me if there's something else, that you want that you could work with instead. Because there certainly is. There are a bazillion stones out there. Maybe not a bazillion, but seems like it, right, when you're shopping. But there's always something else you can work with. And if all else fails, just work with some quartz, I picked it for passion because for me, metaphysical is my passion, right? Got a motorcycle over here. So the metaphysical is my passion. I'm always drawn towards the mysterious, always drawn towards astrology and cards and divination and all of that. So that's my everyday life. I live there. So come join me on Wednesday where I live. All right. Thursday, Scorpio moon in tension with Mars. One second, guys. Sorry. Told you allergy season. Scorpio in tension with Mars. Yeah, there's that word we don't like, right? Intention. All right. So we still have our Scorpio moon energy. So that's still going to be there for us. But with it being in tension with Mars, Mars is how we, it's how we give. So Venus is how we take, how we love. Mars is how we give and how we fight. In a nutshell. That's like really, really simplistic version of it, right? Okay. So we're still going to have those intense emotions. We're still going to be drawn towards the metaphysical and all of that, exploring that. But now there might be, how do I say this? Everybody else is going to be going through the same energies, right? And there might be some conflicts there, right? What you're going through for intense emotions might not be what I'm going through for intense emotions. Chances are that they're probably not. So there's some chances there for people around you that there might be some stuff going on there between, people. There could be a little bit of a possibility of a power struggle. So, if you were like me in my old job, it wasn't so much power struggle, it was just conflict in general. But because she was a power figure, when things like that came up, I just did my best to just keep my head down and avoid her and stay away from her. And not because I was afraid of her or because it was just for my own sanity, right? I'm I don't want to be fighting. I don't want tension. I don't want the drama. I don't want any of it that I don't need. So if she's going to be on a power kick today, then I'm going to just do my best to stay away from her, right? And like I said, that's not, for me, it wasn't giving in. It wasn't letting her win or anything like that. It was more about my sanity and my peace of mind. But so if you have something out there where there's a little bit of a power struggle going on, and sometimes we do get wrapped up in it, and sometimes we do, start the fight. Sometimes we finish the fight, and maybe it's something that is super important to you, and so you have to kind of decide for yourself. Pick and choose your battles, right? But for me, in that situation where I was working with somebody who was, it was not a healthy. She was not a healthy person. I knew there was no sense in arguing because there was never going to be any winning. There was never going to be any resolution with it, So it was just why am I doing this to myself when nothing ever is going to change? So anyway, that was a big long rant. So you might be feeling very passionate. You might be feeling very intense on Thursday. Um, I can't read my own writing. I think it says fuel. Fuel your ambition and your desires. So again, just all kinds of passionate going on. My hair is, I'm a mess. Um, I usually am though. So, it's part of who I am. um, so that passion and that intensity, I think, is what I was writing down, is going to fuel your ambition and your desire. And that ambition and desire is where that power struggle stuff might come in there for you. So, and if it doesn't, then great, right? Who wants any conflict that they don't really need? You know, Sorry to say this, but if you're actively looking for conflict, then you and I need to have a much bigger conversation than this. So, anyway, try to just avoid being controlling, or that, because like I said, that ambition, that passion, might be very intense for you. So, we got to keep that in balance. We can use it to our advantage. We can use that passion to, maybe better ourselves or better our position or whatever that may look like for you. But if we don't keep that in balance, that's where we're going to have those power struggles, or that's where we might become controlling or manipulative. We might kind of become the bully, right? And I'm not saying that we're all mean people, but even myself, I'll be doing something, and then my husband will be like, kind of being bossy, He doesn't always say it quite like that, but that's where he's going with it. So sometimes I have to be like, yeah, you're right. Okay, you do you, and I'll back off. So just kind of be aware that that might happen for you. Okay, so Thursday's color is yellow, and I picked some. I can't read. I picked black agate, and it says, let you manage your emotions to find the good rather than focusing on the darker thoughts. So, not really like darker thoughts. Again, I don't like the whole darker thoughts. We have a light side, we have a shadow side. Everybody does. It doesn't make us dark. It doesn't make us evil. It doesn't make us bad. So anyway, short little rant. I don't like that. Um, so but yes, black agate lets you focus on your emotions of good rather than the dark. Um, so, um, so that's where, that controlling, that manipulative, that bullying, the power struggle part of it. So take that, all that intense emotion, and put it to good use. So black agate. All right. Friday is the 2nd. So Venus is in harmony with Neptune, still Scorpio moon. So again, all of that is still going on. Friday, we're going to start in a Scorpio moon, and then we're going to kind of transit into Sagittarius moon. And that's typical, that we have a day where we're moving out of one and into another, because they don't necessarily change in the middle of the night when we're sleeping. So, but I don't usually go into all of that unless I really think there's like something super important for you to really pay attention to. But for example, on Wednesday, in the morning, you're going to actually start out with a Libra moon, and then later on in the day, we're going to actually be into the Scorpio moon. But so it's just kind of the way it is. It's not like at midnight it changes for us. But if you ever have questions on anything like that, you can again just let me know. Or maybe you're not a Gemini, maybe you're a Sagittarius and want to find the answer yourself, and that's okay too. Anyway, Friday the 2nd, Venus in harmony with Neptune, Scorpio moon. So Venus, again, like I said, is how we receive. Did I say that backwards? Mars is how we give. Venus is how we receive. Pretty sure I said that right. I'm going to have to double check that. Now I'm like questioning myself, but I think that's right. Anyway, Venus is how we love. Venus is all about love. Mars is all about war. So Venus in harmony with Neptune is going to be very nurturing, very compassionate. There's probably going to be some sort of deep connection there for you. You might be feeling just a little lovey, not necessarily like that kind of lovey. Maybe you will be. But you're just going to feel like, it's just going to be a day that you're going to want to spend with your loved ones, with your significant other. Maybe you're not the hand holding type, and maybe on Friday you might feel like doing a little hand holding. um, so, um, it's also going to be a really good day to remember to do some self-care, because we need to love ourselves as much as we love everybody else. We need to take care of ourselves. A lot of us are always worried about doing this and doing that and taking care of this person and taking care of the kids and taking care of the dog and running all the errands and making sure there's groceries and what's going to be for dinner. And sometimes we forget to stop for a minute and be like, all right, what do I need to do to take care of me today? Again, that's something we should do every day. But on Friday, it's something to just kind of remember to do something important for yourself. Or not important, but do something for yourself. Because that is important. Did I say that right? Self-care is important. And I wrote down, don't sacrifice your boundaries. And again, that's because, all these energies, even when we're talking about good, positive energies, we still have to keep everything in balance. And so if we are being very nurturing and we are compassionate, sometimes that can go over, right? And we let people take advantage of us, or maybe we give more than we really need to give, or we give more than we really can give. You know, um, maybe I'm just going to use the example of money because it's easy. But maybe like you have somebody that comes to you and says they're in need, and they're crying and they're really stuck and they need help, and that nurturing, compassionate part of us might be like, here, have some money. And then we realize that now we don't have any money to pay our bills, or we don't have money for groceries, or we don't have any money to put gas in our car to get to work. So um, it's like that with emotions as well, though. Like if we give everything to somebody, then what do we have left for us? So just kind of remember to it's great to be helpful, it's great to be compassionate and nurturing, but there should be a line there of boundaries that we don't go over, or don't let people cross over, however you want to look at it. So Friday is the color is citron, and I picked green kyanite, and it says, "Will let you open your heart and mind to others." So again, just being, open, open-minded and open. It's more for the heart. I picked, being that compassionate part. All right, so Saturday is full moon in Sagittarius, and I think I planned on doing a video on Saturday morning, but let me just double check that in my calendar. Why is it on Twitter? No, so I have in my calendar that I'm going to do the full moon video on Friday morning at 9:30, not Saturday, because I already have an appointment booked on Saturday morning. So Friday morning at 9:30 ish, I will go live again to talk about the full moon. I go over the astrology just a little bit more in detail, and then I go over things that you can work with during the full moon. So tarots, archetypes, stones, oils, herbs, deities, anything like that. I usually give an affirmation, a journal prompt, a quick do-it-yourself project, things like that. So I don't do ritual. I don't do ceremony live. Um, that's something I do at my own, on my own, at my own time. And so if you're like me, or even if you want to do a ceremony, the things that I'm going to suggest could be things that you might want to work with in your practice, however that looks for you. So even though the full moon is Saturday, I'm going to go live Friday morning. Okay, so Friday morning at 9:30. But back to Saturday, full moon in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius are like I said, that's my birth sign, and they want to know everything about everything all the time. It's part of why my brain never ever shuts off. Um, so but they're also very optimistic, and they're also very playful, so adventurous. So all that energy is going to be there for you on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be a really good day to connect with the universe, connect with source, connect with your God, your deity, whatever it is that you work with. And I'm not here to convert anybody or judge anybody, just trying to use all the terms that might come up. Okay. So you work with whatever. It's going to be a good day to work with whatever feels right for you. It's going to be a really good day to spend some time outside. Um, and it's going to be just like I said, use that playfulness, but that adventure and that optimism in with the full moon as a way to what's the word I want to say? How do I say? Uh, Move forward, but that's not really exactly what I'm trying to say. But um, advance yourself, um, better yourself. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I know what I want to say, but I'm not sure how I want to say it. But so remember, on the full moon, we're going to release things that no longer serve us. So it's Monday, and so we have 6 days, whatever, 5 days till we get to the full moon. So you have a little bit of time to maybe think about some things that maybe are no longer serving you. That could be a job, it could be emotions, it could be a bad habit, could be old beliefs, could be a relationship, um, could be a lot of different things for a lot of different people, right? So whatever it is that's just no longer serving you, what is in your life that is either one holding you back, because if it's holding you back, we definitely want to be getting rid of that. But maybe not so clear, as maybe it's something that's not necessarily holding you back, um, but maybe it's something that's keeping you from going forward. I know it's the same thing, right? But it's not. Um, we have people in our lives that see us changing or growing, and they don't like that. They don't want us to change or grow. They want us to stay the way we were. And so, they might be, you know, I don't want to say giving you a hard time, but maybe there's just conflict there or whatever, because you're growing. And so they're not necessarily keeping you from growing, but uh, they're not growing with you. And I had a teacher. I learned so many amazing things from her way back, and she said so many things that have stuck with me over the last few years. And if people aren't growing with you, then And they, okay, how do I want to say this? Because I obviously don't remember her exact words, but if people aren't growing with you, then they may be trying to hold you back, right? Because, like I said, they don't want you to change. They don't want you to be better. They don't want you. Um, and we're like thinking these are supposed to be our friends. These are supposed to be our family. Why don't they want us to be better? But anyway, basically, if they're not growing with you, we need to let them go because they're not in the same place that we're in. And hopefully someday they will be, and they will grow and they'll catch up to us, and they'll come back into our lives. I'm a big believer that it's everything is meant to be. Everything is people come into our lives, people go out of our lives. Um, People come back into our lives for certain reasons. I had a friend. We were really good friends in elementary school. Not quite so much in high school. We were still friends, but not super close. Um, but now here it is, like 30, 40 years later. And, she came back into my life, and, we have a lot of the same interests and a lot of the same goals. And, we believe in a lot of the same things. And so, that's the way life works. But anyway, I'm rambling here, but, so, yes, sometimes it's sad when we have loved ones that aren't growing with us and they are not happy about our growth. And we kind of have to get to a point where we have to just let those relationships kind of go, right? Because they're holding us back. And we hope that someday they will be in a place that we are in, and they will want to grow and they will want to move forward, and they'll come back into our lives when that happens. But long rant, sorry. So yeah, sometimes the what no longer serves you are family or friends. All right, so where was I? Saturday's color is light blue. And for Sagittarius, I picked some bronzite, and will help you extract what is beneficial and leave the rest behind on your new exploration. So that's kind of the whole what no longer serves us, right? So what keeps what's beneficial and lose the rest, right? So that's some bronzite. And it kind of looks like tiger's eye in this picture, but it's not. Um, it's kind of a spotted. These. I wish they would have put one big stone instead of a pile of little stones, but I don't know if I can get it to focus here. Yeah, it doesn't have that like that iridescent-y kind of look that tiger's eye has, and it's not striped. It's kind of more of a speckled. But in this picture, it kind of just it does look more like tiger's eye. But all right, finishing up the week. Sunday, it's going to be June. Can you guys believe that? Sunday, June 4th. Mercury in harmony with Uranus. So Mercury is all about how we communicate, right? So whenever Mercury comes up, I'm always like, ugh. Not so much anymore. I think some of my throat chakra issues, I'm hoping I've worked through some of them. There's still some. I have Aries in my rising sign, so I can be very bold. Sometimes I just kind of say things, and I'm not trying to be mean, or I'm not trying to be bossy, or I'm not trying to be um, demanding, I guess. But sometimes it comes off that way, even though I don't mean it to. But that's my throat chakra issue, and my Aries in my rising sign. So anyway, that's Mercury is a big thing for me, which is exactly why I years and years ago I started wanting to know what the astrology was for the week, because of that exact issue. I wanted to know what days were going to be about communication, what days Mercury was going to be involved. And on those days, I kind of just hid. But yeah, that's not really how we fix our chakra imbalances, by hiding. But that's kind of what I started doing in the beginning. And anyway, so Mercury in harmony with Uranus. There could be some. This always sounds funny to me. Expect on Sunday something unexpected. It's like, how can we expect something unexpected? But yeah, that's a puzzle for another day. So something unexpected might come up on Sunday, whatever that might be. Could be very different for different people again, right? Depends on where your chart is, depends on where your placements are, depends on what's going on in your life. Maybe your unexpected thing is going to be something very small that you might not even realize, or it could be something very big. But it may shift something about the way we think or about the way we communicate. Chances are that's what it's going to be about. So something that's going to shift the way we think or the way we communicate, or both. Could be both. So some sort of change is going to be coming on Sunday. There's nothing in conflict. There's nothing in tension. So whatever the change shouldn't be anything that we would really have to be too concerned about. But I wrote down, don't hold on to stubbornness. So sometimes when things come for us for change, like I was just saying, when we're changing, and maybe a friend or a family or a partner is not happy about, because we're growing and we're kind of leaving them behind. Sometimes we do that to ourselves, right? Because we don't want to leave people behind, or we don't want to make other people feel bad, or maybe we're just scared, whatever that might look like. So sometimes we'll just hold fast to where we are and not move forward and be stubborn about it. But everybody is supposed to move forward. Not everybody moves forward at the same pace, and that's why I said, if you've got somebody that is not growing with you, maybe it's time to just kind of, you don't have to be like, this relationship's over and we're done, unless it's a significant other that but if it's a family member or friend, maybe you just kind of drift apart, and then at some point maybe you'll drift back together. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go to your friend and be like, I'm ending this relationship because you're not growing with me. I don't know, maybe you want to do that, but you don't need to. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, right? We are trying to avoid drama. So maybe it's just simple that you just kind of drift apart. Maybe you were the one that was always initiating the phone calls or the text messages. And maybe you just don't do that anymore, or whatever. There's so many possibilities of things that could be going on. So again, I try to touch on some examples that might be helpful. Maybe my examples aren't helpful, I don't know. But if you ever have more questions, or you're just not sure what I'm talking about, again, you can always put it in the comments or private message me. I'm perfectly fine with either way. But all right, so Sunday's color is orange, and the stone I picked is sugilite, which says will help you get back on course when you feel lost. So basically what I picked it for was the on course part. So not that you're off course or getting back on course. Like I said, I struggled with the cards a little bit this week. But if there's some sort of change coming for you, it's not that you're off course or that the change is going to put you off course, because I believe every step of our way is for a reason. You know, we have to learn things, we have to grow, we have to have challenges, we have to have lessons. But Sujolite just to help you on your course, on your path, whatever it's looking like at the time. So, and it's kind of a purpley stone. And again, my camera's not focusing super great, but Sujolite. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up for this week's astrology. Like I said, I am planning on being back Friday morning at 9:30 to go over some stuff for the full moon in Sagittarius, which is actually on Saturday. If you have any questions or anything, want any help with anything, please let me know. Otherwise, if you found something in this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, ring the bell, share, tag a friend, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff I'm supposed to say at the end. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Lots of love. And as always, remember to be kind. Your kindness is not only going to improve your day, it's going to improve somebody else's day, and it could potentially change someone's life for the better. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.